Hey guys! I know I mentioned in my last video that one of my vegan kitchen essentials is tofu, so I figured I'd share with you guys my recipe. If you want to learn how I make my tofu, please keep watching. First, you're going to get your favorite kind of tofu and slit a hole on the side. This is going to allow us to drain out all of the excess water. Next, squeeze as much water as you can out. You want to make sure the tofu is as dry as possible. If you don't get all the water out, it's not a big deal. We're going to soak up as much as we can with paper towels after. Next, we're going to slice open the rest of the tofu. We're going to get it ready to place onto the paper towels. Personally, I like the select-a-size paper towels. I pick 4 paper towels, fold them over each other, and rest them on my cutting board. After I cut my tofu, I'm going to rest the tofu onto these paper towels. When cutting my tofu, I don't like my slices too wide. You can see here just how wide I like my slices. Once I cut my first slice, I continue cutting the rest of the block of tofu. Once my tofu slices are cut, I rest them on the already laid paper towel. I then get 4 more paper towels and rest these paper towels on top of my tofu. Once the paper towels are on the tofu, I apply as much pressure as possible to seep out all of that excess water. Clearly I'm pushing pretty hard because my camera keeps wiggling. I honestly had no idea I was applying that much pressure. You just really want your tofu to be as dry as possible. If you plan your meal ahead, another way to do this is to get plates or something really heavy and rest it on your tofu. The weight from the heavy object will seep up all of the excess water. I usually let my plate sit for at least 15 minutes. During this time, I'll cook some rice or get some veggies ready. Having the tofu be as dry as possible will allow it to soak up all of the sauces that you cook it with. Once your time's up, or you've applied as much pressure as possible, press down on the tofu one last time. When you lift up your paper towel, you'll notice it's pretty wet. Your tofu, though, is pretty dry, and it's ready to cook. First, you'll need olive oil, coconut aminos, sesame seed oil, and I chopped up a little bit of garlic. Heat your pan at a medium heat. Later on, we'll up the temperature to a medium to high heat. So my olive oil definitely came out faster than I had expected, but you do want enough olive oil to coat the entire skillet. Give the pan a minute or 2 to get hot. When you feel the heat rising, you can add your garlic to the pan. Once your garlic's in the pan, grab a spatula and mix the garlic into the oil. When you feel the heat rising in the pan, you're going to add in your coconut aminos. I like to go all the way around the pan and then sprinkle a little in the center. Once my coconut aminos are in, I add in my sesame seed oil, I personally love the taste of sesame seed oil, so I put in a little bit extra. You want your sauces and garlic mixed well together, so grab a spatula and mix them up in the pan. Your sauces are ready when you hear a pretty loud sizzling in the pan. Be careful with splashback, so grab a fork and lay your pieces of tofu in your pan. You want to lay out your pieces of tofu evenly and make sure that none of them are overlapping. I'm going to put my thickest piece of tofu in the middle to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Remember, tofu is a very spongy material, so I don't want this video to deceive you. Cooking the tofu on one side normally only takes about 2 to 3 minutes. Here I did turn the temperature up ever so slightly. In the beginning, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't burn my oil. So now the tofu is cooking at a medium to high heat. I periodically move my tofu around with a fork just to make sure that it's not burning. I also like to check to see what the edges look like. We want the edges of our tofu to be golden brown. When I check my tofu again, we're ready to flip. Right now, we're at 2.5 minutes. I told you guys in my last video I smell everything. So here I'm just smelling to make sure I can smell my coconut aminos and sesame seed oil. If you can't smell them, feel free to add more. Then I like to move around my skinnier slices of tofu just to make sure that they're all cooking evenly. You'll notice though I keep the thicker one in the middle. I want to make sure that that one's edges are golden brown. When I notice the tofu slices are ready, I flip them over one last time just to make sure I can absorb any of the excess sauce. So I know the video makes it seem like it took a long time to cook this tofu, but to cook this tofu, it took exactly 6 minutes. The only part that could potentially take a long time is drying out the tofu. Give your pan one last shake and then you're ready to plate. I made a rice pilaf and corn to go with my tofu. Time to enjoy! My tofu came out just the way I wanted it to. I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe. If you have any suggestions on how you cook your tofu, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching. Bye!